It's truly a pleasure to be here. This is an amazing thing for me. This is my first, but it's not something that I haven't become familiar with being on the I-Club circuit. I remember the very first one I went to, there was 600 or 700 people, and it was that kind of intensity pretty much every one I went to. It wasn't easy. My first one, I remember, I had to follow Norm Parker and Tom Brands. That's never it was funny because I got up to the podium to speak, and I had just been reprimanded by Tom Brands. I didn't understand what I did. He was offended by something. But it was a lot of fun, and it became sort of, I took it upon myself to just take the advantage of going after him and just roasted him pretty much every one he had coming to him. But it is truly great to be a Hawkeye. This is my 5th month as your head basketball coach. And I have to tell you, I wake up every morning proud to represent this institution and thankful for this opportunity. I think everyone knows we've got some work to do, and we have begun the process. And one of the stories I like to tell is, when I was an assistant coach at Notre Dame, our football coach was Lou Holtz, and of course, Lou is very well known, and the second best football coach I've ever had the opportunity to work with. First year in the Big East, it was a memorable one. You had Iverson at Georgetown, and Ray Allen was at UConn, and we weren't quite ready. And our #1 recruit had back surgery. Our starting two guard was out for half a season. He had a collapsed lung, and our starting center, he developed a fear of flying, and he only played in the home games. That's true. So I saw Lou. We were on an airplane together. He was recruiting, I was recruiting. He said, "How you doing?" I said, "Coach, we're struggling." He started going through, we got this and that, and this and that, this problem. He says, "Let me give you some advice." He said, "You can talk about your problems if you want to, but remember this, 50% of the people don't care, and the other 50% are glad you got them." Since I've arrived, I have been very impressed with our players and their work ethic and their commitment to the game plan. A lot has been said and written about, in particular, our style of play and what we're trying to do with our players in terms of getting them in the kind of shape that they need to be in. We were big and strong in some ways, and we were lifting in a way that was putting bulk on our players. And what we try to do is make them lean so we can run and run and run. And I'm talking about every possession, sprinting the floor. People talk about running the floor. What I'm trying to get our guys to understand is we are going to sprint the floor every time. And if you look at Matt Gatens today at 208 pounds compared to where he was when I got here at 224, and you watch him in our previous workouts these last 3 days, just killing that jump shot and doing things off the dribble that he hasn't done, that's what we need for him to be a guy that could potentially be a 15 to 20 point scorer for us in the Big Ten and provide the leadership that we need. In addition to that, if you see Eric May was 224, he's down to 215, and he is running and jumping and dunking exactly like we would want him to do. And we're going to get him out on the floor, get him into space where he can be successful, and it will be a brand of basketball that I think all of you will enjoy, but I think appreciate. My experience, having come here before and brought teams into Iowa City, is that we have a sophisticated fan base that understands how the game is supposed to be played. And that's what we're working on. What I've done is surround myself with a really competent and talented staff. We've got 43 years of Division I head coaching experience on our staff. We have Ryan Bowen with 10 years in the NBA. And we have 2 Hawkeyes, former Hawkeyes, on our staff who know this institution and know the Big Ten. So I feel really good about what we've been able to do in a short period of time, and feel like when I talk to our players and I see them interact with recruits, and I see how they sell Iowa and Iowa basketball and our plan. It is something that makes me very, very excited and looking forward to each and every day. This is a very important weekend for us, as you can imagine. We've got 4 of the best players in the country coming in this weekend. Can't say who they are by rule, but we've got 4 of the best players in the country. Last week, same thing. And it was funny, I'll tell you a funny story. Kirk was kind enough to allow our recruits last weekend to come to practice on Friday, and as we drove up, we bumped into Hayden Fry, which wasn't by design, but of course Hayden came right up and told each of our recruits why they should come to Iowa. So we were asking him about the hokey pokey. He said, you know, he said, I think I can get my left leg in, I'm not sure I can get my left leg out. But I just wanted to give you a brief overview of our program and how excited we are and where we're headed. But the real purpose of my visit today is to introduce someone that we all appreciate, respect, and I have to say has become in a short period of time a good friend. The way that Kirk welcomed me and my family into the Iowa family is something that I will always remember. He's offered to be accessible in any way that I need him in terms of my professional development, our staff's professional development, or in the recruiting process. And my goal, very simply, is to do what we've all watched him do. He gave us the blueprint on how to build a program successfully. Recruit student athletes with character, who compete, who work, who care about each other, who understand how to play, and how to be involved with teammates, and how to put winning and team play above personal accomplishment. That's what he's done, and that's what he's done consistently. And I've enjoyed watching it. I will continue to enjoy watching it. And it's my distinct pleasure right now to introduce my friend, your coach, Kirk Ferentz.